Okay, so this video shows you how to write the equation of a line. There's two different ways to do it. So the first example is using point-slope form. So the first thing you need to do is remember point-slope form. Point-slope form is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. The hardest part of this method is remembering this form. Okay, it has, hence the name, one point and the slope. So if you have 1 point and the slope, you can use this form to write the equation of the line. Okay, so we're given 2 points, -2, -3, and 2, -1. The first step is always to find the slope, okay, which is the difference in the y values over the difference in the x values. So in our case, I have -1 minus -3 and 2 minus -2. So it doesn't matter what order you go in as long as you keep the same order. So if I have this y value minus this y value, then I want to do the same for the x's, this x value minus this x value. So -1 minus -3 means -1 plus 3, and 2 minus -2 means 2 plus 2. So -1 plus 3 is 2, 2 plus 2 is 4, and I want to simplify that, and I find that my slope is 1/2. Okay, so now I have my slope, and I have at least 1 point. I can write the equation in point-slope form. Okay, so y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. All right, so I'm going to start by filling in my slope, and then I'm going to choose 1 point. It doesn't matter which point, so I'll use this one. So I fill in the x value. X goes with the x value, and the y goes with the y value. All right, so at this point, the first thing you want to do is clean up any minus negatives and make it plus. So I have y plus 1, y plus 1 equals 1/2 times x minus x1. Okay, I want to distribute next. So I'm going to distribute the 1/2 x, and 1/2 of 2 is 1, so I have a -1. And then the last step is to get y by itself. So subtract 1 from both sides, and y is 1/2 x, -1 minus 1 is -2. And this is the equation of the line that goes through the point -2, -3, and 2, -1. Okay, the other way to write an equation of a line is by using slope-intercept form. So slope-intercept form is the one that everyone knows, y equals mx plus b. It's a little more work doing it this way, but the formula is easier to remember. But we start off the same way. So we want to write the equation of the line that goes through the points -1, 7 and 2, 1. We start by finding the slope, which is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, so in our case, I have 1 minus 7 over 2 minus -1. 1 minus 7 is -6, and you want to remember that minus negative is plus, so that's going to be 3. -6 divided by 3 is -2, and there's your slope. All right, so I'm going to take my formula, and I'm going to replace m with the slope. So I have y equals -2x plus b. My next step is that I need to find out what b is. So I'm going to substitute one of the points in for x and y. It doesn't matter which point you choose. So I'm going to choose the point 2, 1, and I'm going to replace x and y with 2 and 1. Okay, so y is 1, and then I have -2 times x is 2 plus b, and then I'm just going to solve for b. So 1 equals -2 times 2 is -4, And then I just want to isolate b, so add 4 to both sides. And we find that b is 5. So then we have everything we need to write the equation. We know the slope is -2, and we know that b is 5. And this is the linear equation that goes through the points -1, 7, and 2, 1.